Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Mayo.
Merry Christmas to you as well.
I hope you had a good day.
Did. Kids had a good time.
Awesome. Very important. I'm curious, as a former linebacker, what's it like having someone like Barmore, who can occupy so many bodies but also be as explosive as he is? What does that do for the front seven?
It's huge. Anytime you can make backs, stop their feet behind the line of scrimmage is always a benefit. And if you can get after the quarterback, obviously in passing situations, it helps the coverage. We always talk about marrying up the rush and the coverage. Having a guy like Barmore, especially playing at the level that he's playing at right now, is definitely a huge benefit for the success of our defense.
Has he surprised you at all with how he sort of exploded here over the last 2 months?
Not really. I'll say one thing about Barmore. Has matured since being here, and he works hard. He's doing the extra stuff. He's doing the little things, and it's starting to show up, starting to pay dividends. Definitely has a bright future, and hopefully he can keep it rolling.
Thanks, Jerod.
Thanks, Mike.
Next question, Chris Ryan.
Hey, Jerod, Merry Christmas. Glad
Merry
you
Christmas,
had a
Chris.
good day yesterday. Thank you. Just an upshot on the defense. You've been down Judon, Gonzalez pretty much for this entire year, but the productivity has been there. You guys have defense obviously kept you guys in games. Why is that? Why do you think you've been able to have the success you've had on defense?
Honestly, from the top of the roster to the bottom of the roster, these guys have that never quit attitude. And even this past game, we had guys go down, come back in the game. And I would say all those guys were definitely dialed in on the sideline. That next man up mentality has just been really taken to another level this year. And those guys have really played well in those roles.
I want to ask you about Barmore too, but on the ability to sack the quarterback, 8.5 sacks for him, moving up amongst the league leaders. Did you expect that? Is the sacks been kind of a byproduct of other things, or is he, a really good pass rusher from defensive tackle spot?
Yeah, we always knew he was a really good pass rusher. You see it every day in practice. I would say if you look at the run game, his discipline in the run game has really been more surprising, at least to me, than anything else. We always knew, even at Alabama, he was always in the backfield. Maybe the numbers didn't really show it, but he was always, chasing quarterbacks and being disruptive in the pass game. I would say as a player, though, he's matured and really become a, early down and third down player at the defensive tackle position, which is very good for us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
And next question, Doug Hyde.
Hey, Jerod. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Doug.
Thank you. With Mack Wilson, I know that he's rushing the passer a lot more so far this season than he has in past years in his NFL career, and probably even, dating back to college as well. What has made you guys want to use him so much more as a pass rusher this year and use him more on the edge?
Yeah, coming out of last year, Steve and I felt like we kind of let Mac down on some of the things that we knew he was good at, but at the same time didn't want to really overload his plate. I would say, coming into this season, we said, look, we have to get this guy on the field. He's explosive, he's fast, he can play various roles. And honestly, over the past few months, he's been doing a good job in those roles. Obviously he's more comfortable in the defense, but he's doing a great job for us. He can rush, he's fast, he can do all the things that the fast defensive ends do in the league, plus play off the ball.
Thank you, Jerod.
Thanks, Doug.
And next question, Karen Garagian.
Hey, Jerod.
Hey, Karen. Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Hope you had a nice day. I was just curious, the way the season has gone, being out of the playoffs early on, what have you learned most about being a coach or coaching a team, that's out of it so soon?
Yeah, I've just learned that, these guys are very resilient. They're mentally resilient. It really doesn't matter what's happening on or off the field. As soon as they cross the white lines, they're going to give it everything they have. And I think that's reflective of what we've done, so far, especially defensively. These guys work hard no matter what the record is, no matter where we end up on the field. And I appreciate that attitude, that mentality. And coach used to always talk about, you get to the playoffs, it's a crash landing. There's no smooth landing. One thing I would say now, we have an end date. And hopefully these guys, they understand that and, want to go out with a bang. So.
Thank you, Jerod.
Thanks, Karen.
And final question here from Sophie Weller.
Hey, Jerod. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Sophie.
I just was curious, throughout this season, the defense has done very, very well in comparison to sometimes when the offense doesn't show up completely. What is your message to the defense in those moments throughout the season to kind of keep them motivated and keep them doing what they're doing?
Yeah, for the most part, many of the defensive players also play special teams as well. So I would say, just worried about what we can do to help the team win. And obviously, the only absolute in this game is if you don't score, you don't win. And so that's why it's good to play. That's why it's good to be out there playing good defense. And that's what the guys have done up until this point. And obviously, sometimes the offense is rolling, sometimes they're not, but that happens on every single team. And at some point in time, the other units just have to pick up the slack. And I think the guys have done a good job doing that.